Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager 6 stream. My name is Adam. I am the community manager of Franchise Hockey and with me as always, but not pictured on your screen unless he's actually running with a hockey stick is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back to the past. It is 1967 and Jeff, the NHL has radically changed. What is going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an experiment with our new editable historical mode that we've done. We instead of expanding the NHL, well, it would have been this season actually, the real when the NHL went from 6 to 12 teams. We went back a little further and started with the proposed Canucks expansion team for 1965 that didn't actually happen in real life. But we went ahead with it here and haven't had a whole lot of success for the first couple of years with the Canucks. So I'll just flip the team history and you can see it's been pretty sad. Far below 500 for the first couple of seasons. However, should be a little easier this year because after adding two expansion teams, the two California teams in LA and Oakland last season, which helped us stay out of last place, we've added, three more expansion teams this year? Yeah. To get up to the historical 12 teams for this season.
We added Minnesota and St. Louis. Oh, and Philadelphia, right? Was that the other one?
Yeah, the three of them. So no Pittsburgh. Basically, at this point, we're replacing Pittsburgh and realigned the divisions. We split them in two like the real NHL was in this season. So it's actually starting to look a lot more similar to the historical NHL. The only difference is the Canucks are in already, and we've been able to build a team for a couple of years.
Well, we built up the West Coast.
Yep, we've got a fairly solid team at this point. Kind of lacking.
Down the West Coast would make more sense.
Yeah.
Apparently we're not live on Steam, by the way, Jeff.
We're not live on Steam. That's weird. It seemed to go through. Worry about that later.
Yeah.
Let me just double check, make sure I.
Oh, yep. No, as I say that, it just turns on.
Yeah, it's that little delay. It does. Okay.
All right.
So hello, if anybody is watching us on Steam already too, but mainly we're on Twitch. Anyhow, kind of. Still don't really have a big score at this point. A little more solid from the blue line back, and some veterans. Carl Brewer, Gary Bergman, and Tony Esposito in goal, who's still only 2.5 stars at this point, but he played pretty well for us last year, which allowed us to let Terry Sawchuk. Well, we were going to let Terry Sawchuk go. I think he went and retired on us anyhow.
Yes, I believe that's what happened.
So Esposito will be our starting goalie this coming season, and let's see, is Gary Simmons the best we've got for a backup? I thought. Oops, meant for the depth chart there. I've got Wayne Stevenson's another half-star guy. But we're just coming out of the draft right now. Yeah, I think I made. Trying to remember where we left off last week.
We had done the expansion draft and done the NHL entry draft.
Yeah, just trying to figure out if we had signed players yet, and I think we had. I could just look at the news, obviously. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we did. Rene Robert, our first rounder, and hopefully eventually first line winger was the side there. Was that? See, I can't even remember the draft at this point. Let's check. Yeah, Rene Robert, third overall. I'm kind of hoping to get Brad Park. He actually went second to the Flyers. Minnesota surprisingly took Barry Gibbs ahead of him. And,
it happens.
Robert, so as we needed wingers, there are a few other decent players around, but is there a free agent goalie out there? I'm starting to get a little nervous with.
Well, you traded. I wanted to re-sign Sawchuk, and you didn't. I remember that.
Ernie Wakely. I thought we made him an offer at some point. It's either him or Jacques Caron. Both 1.5 stars, and Caron is 2-star potential. I'll have to go with Wakely, I think, who he played a bit for the Blues in real life, didn't really have a big NHL career, was pretty decent in the WHA. But we'll see, play a week or so ahead and see if we get him. Looks like he's happy with that offer, so keep going. And he signed with us, so he can have number 30. And yeah, that's probably going to be a little more reliable in goal than going with the guys who are still developing.
Gudu in the chat says thanks for the earlier start time too.
Yeah, it's the
We are.
should have mentioned it's the Out of the Park 21 official launch on, at least on Steam tomorrow, full launch. So we're clearing away for them a little bit. They're going to be on right after us, I think. Is that the plan?
I believe that is the plan.
Yeah,
at
they
least,
needed our part of our usual slot, so we'll give that up to them and start a little early.
Yeah, so we thought we'd go a little bit earlier. And again, if maybe you're tuning in here right now to watch us, we were on the past couple days on our Twitter. We've been giving away a few copies of Franchise Hockey Manager 6, and well, maybe we'll give away 1 or 2 tonight on through our Twitch channel if you're watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, you've already missed it, sadly.
Yeah, and okay, we've got our development report for August. That's not the training camp one, but Gila Point coming along nicely. He should be ready to play this year after a year in the minors.
Did you find a goalie, by the way, or no?
Ernie Wakely, signed him. And some more other young guys coming along, but John Ferguson declining again. I'm surprised he's still at 2.5 stars. He's showing up as a negative on every development report we get.
Lovely.
Okay, there's the camp report. And nobody declining. That's good news. And Wakely, the guy we just signed, goes up a little bit. So do Simmons and Stevenson, our other young goalies. And let's just, and so does Esposito too, for that matter. So let's see, I don't have anybody up past 3 stars yet, except Brewer and Berenson, who were there already. And on the farm team, nope, doesn't look like the goalies picked up an extra star either. They're getting there though. It's a young team. And I'm going to take one final look at the free agent pool. Yeah, no, that's pretty cleaned out. I don't think there's anybody there we really want. Unless there's somebody with a little bit of potential. Andy Brown and goal, but we've already got a couple of young goalies, and nope, it's just 1.5 1-star guys from there on down. Not really worth signing any of them unless we run into injury trouble. And we're actually at the start of the exhibition season, so
Excellent.
I'm going to bring up
So,
a
Jeff, how
couple of
have you
guys from
been
the...
coping with no hockey?
Yeah, well, I wasn't around, and we had to... You were a little under the weather last week, so we missed our usual stream, and I wasn't here for the weekend one that you did. So has anything interesting happened in hockey in the last week or two?
Not a lot. No, it's
Pretty quiet, eh? Yeah, that's what I figured.
Kind of a whole lot of nothing. Well, I guess an Ottawa Senators player tested positive for COVID.
Yeah, we still don't know who that... is yet.
And for that matter, I guess we've seen leagues across the globe cancel.
KHL is still trying to go though.
Yeah, they've had 2 teams pull out. We've seen that all the Canadian hockey leagues now have ended the regular seasons.
Yeah, which is a very optimistic way of putting it. I think we were supposed to have the Memorial Cup here in Kelowna this May. I think that is as good as done. As you can't really have that without any junior playoffs. Okay, let's just mix up the lines for the first.
I feel bad for the guys aging out, and even like at the more junior level, like junior A hockey, the RBC Cup getting canceled. That's tough for a lot of those guys who were competing for it.
3-1 win in our first exhibition game. Yeah, well, it's a lot like the strike, only it's the lockout last time. Guys kind of losing their last shot at it. Only in this case, it's everywhere, not just the NHL.
Yes, well, even my old favorite Manitoba Moose, Jason Jaffrey, was going to retire at the end of the German League playoffs. Well, that was kind of a sad way to go out. Oh, and the USHL canceled their season too. I forgot. I saw that earlier. So I guess we're going to have to work on putting a new storyline in that cancels your season.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun to make work. What we are doing, I should mention, though, is we're working on a save that'll let you pick up the current NHL season and finish it off from where it actually was after we get done here. I'm actually going to be doing some work on that and hoping to have that to you in the next few days. Kind of depends on. We may need some help getting that set up from some of the guys who are busy at the moment with OOTP, so I don't want to promise it'll be out tomorrow or the weekend or anything, because it may go a little longer than that. But within the next few days, you'll be able to, in FHM, pick up the NHL season where it left off and at least get a cup winner this year. Although something was horribly wrong with it the first game I tried, somehow the Leafs won.
Yeah, that's not right. Actually, what's kind of fascinating now, in a way, is we've heard that there's some a little bit panic in some teams, as it sounds like there's now a chance that the cap might stay flat.
Yeah, that's going to be a big mess because the cap is tied to league revenues, and we're not going to have a whole lot of league revenues in the next little while, are we?
Yeah, well, Magus, thanks for coming up. And so that's going to, and there's a big article, of course, I think it was on Sportsnet, going, well, how would that affect the Leafs? Well, if they could still get guys to play for minimum salary, well, yeah, I'm sure most guys would be thrilled to do that.
I mean, you can always pull a shady thing they did with, you remember the Korea, Colorado deal a few years ago? Korea and Solani, yes, where they signed cheap and then re-signed the next year.
Yeah, so there's, I don't know, that's going to be kind of interesting to watch, to see how that all shakes out. And I don't know, there's still so many funny things, and like, I know, Jeff, maybe you're a little bit sore about Vancouver having a cap hit for Roberto Luongo. But I mean, that is always a laugh to me, because I mean, teams sign these guys to huge contracts, and the guy retires early.
No, we kind of got screwed on that because we didn't. We played by the rules as they existed at the time, and then they kind of got retroactively changed on us.
Yeah, I know, but you think that's funny? I mean, if Shea Weber decided he was done and retired, Nashville gets like a $25 million cap hit. How that would be amazing to watch, the absolute chaos that would happen.
Because I mean, that's not going to put them too. That's like too.
Oh, I know, but you're telling me you don't want to see that? I think that would be amazing. The league would be freaking out, and you just suddenly have this glut of players getting traded for next to nothing. Oh, it'd be fascinating.
Yeah. Okay, we almost done the exhibition season here. I think we got one more game, or 2 more games actually. the Rangers, and we get shut out. And Rene Robert, our first round draft pick, is already injured.
Of course. But my point being about with no NHL season is it sure made me realize how much I miss live sports.
I know if you're not really a wrestling fan, I am, but WWE is trying to go ahead and keep going, and they're doing it out of their performance center in Orlando with no crowd at all, which is fascinating to watch.
Yeah, I saw some highlights of that, but I mean, it's just so weird when you go to if hockey wasn't on, I'd watch baseball. Baseball, I'd be watching football at some point. And if that wasn't on, I'd be watching golf. And now there's none of it.
Yep. Trying to get our goalie hot here, and winds up giving up 8 goals instead. Okay, we're almost to the start of the regular season. Somebody's on waivers. Oh, it's the start of the season waivers, so there may be somebody useful here we'll take a look at. Mostly goalies. Forbes Kennedy, who we actually let go last year or lost in the expansion draft, but I don't think we really need him back.
Ganba Magnus in the chat says, mainly behind closed doors doesn't feel the same. I hope they postpone it till the summer. The thing is, we don't even know if this is going to be over in the summer. We hope it's going to be better, but we really don't know.
And WWE in particular, they can't just keep dragging the storylines out for an indefinite period. They got to do something to move things ahead. They only have
5 years worth of material left, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, do we get anybody mentioned in the season preview at least? Does not look like it.
Is AEW the same minute? Mr. D. Wright says.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're filming. I don't know if they're doing it out of Jacksonville like they were before, but there's not going to be a crowd. I guess they're on right now. I'm not sure. I haven't watched them in a couple of weeks.
They don't film as often as.
No, they're live. So they should be every Wednesday night, but I assume they're doing it in front of an empty crowd too. So we'll see who does it better. That'll be interesting. Okay, got to cut the roster down here. And how did Dick Duff get? Oh man, that's not good. Missed that torn hip flexor on one of our better wingers. Rene Robert is at least ready to come back.
Speaking of actually watching things with fake crowds, Jeff, I mean today Sony held a press conference. That was their GDC talk they never gave about the upcoming PlayStation 5, which I don't know if you happen to watch or not.
Didn't see it, no.
But I did because, I enjoy playing my PlayStation as well. And so I was watching this and I couldn't get over. They literally had Cerny standing, and then in front they had shadows of like fake people watching him. And I'm like, why did you do this? And then occasionally they slightly moved. Question from Steam from Buffett's 67 says, do you guys have an online league to play?
Yeah, well, you can play multiplayer leagues in this. You have to kind of find the other players yourself, and I think if you look on our forums, there's a multiplayer section where they're generally organizing and recruiting that, and I think there's a few that advertise on our subreddit too, our franchise hockey on Reddit.
Yes, there's definitely some places, as well as our own Discord, for people who are looking for teams. But just to be clear, because this question does come up, files are submitted to the commissioner. The commissioner simulates the league forward and then redistributes things. Earls and Wedge, Hockey Night on Twitch. Woo! Billy fan.
Yeah,
so what's his giveaway I hear about? Well, we're going to do a giveaway in probably a short little bit. We'll have maybe the first of a couple. P-Wog's happy to see the Wings are doing good, and asks if you and I are doing okay.
Yeah, so far, Swan, you're not so great at the moment. We're hoping it isn't coronavirus, but I'm fine.
No, as far as I know, I should have a little bit of a cold. If I do, for some reason, no, I haven't been tested. No, I'm not intending to get tested. I've just been kind of more or less stuffed up,
And this kind of
and so
started
I'm
before it
just
really got to Manitoba, anyhow, didn't it?
yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's just a cold, and I'm almost over it now at this point anyway. So I'm not too worried. But occasionally, still my airway gets a little bit clogged up, I guess is the best way to say that. Gudu says, just with sports in general, on whether leagues will finish or not, making me go crazy. If he thinks leagues. Yeah, I said I floated this out on Saturday. I did a Minnesota Wild
Gonna play our home
between it.
opener here since it's Leafs.
Sure.
Let that go.
And I did. The stream is going to be just saved only on Twitch. I'm not planning on moving it to YouTube right now. So that's twitch.tv/OTP Developments. And I said, and maybe even the week before when we were kind of talking about this happening, I really don't see if they went to like December before there's a cup winner. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. And you kind of run a truncated 48 game schedule or something. Starting in January, depending, of course, when the cup final is, and just kind of redo another season. Play almost a lockout. I think that would be kind of fun, just to see how things go. The guys who I really feel bad for are, again, like the ECHL guys who had it canceled, have their league canceled, the AHL guys who aren't really sure, guys coming up on free agency who are kind of mixed and not really sure where they're going to be, where their next contract's coming from. And again, I do feel bad for those guys aging out, whether it's guys playing WHL or OHL or Q who didn't get a shot at the title that they were hoping for and had been working towards and a shot at the Memorial Cup. I feel bad for those junior A guys who were hoping to help, leverage a really good playoff into maybe a college career. And I feel bad for the college guys who didn't get a chance to play either. Like, I know Winnipeg Jets prospect Dylan Sandberg was really hoping for
Well, at least the college guys kind of got to at least finish out their season more or less, because I know a lot of them were already signing with the minor
they
league
did.
teams,
Some guys did, but I mean, like Dylan Sandberg was trying to three-peat Frozen Four, which I don't think would have happened with their team. It's not quite as good, but to have that opportunity taken away really sucks. And they said, there's an article from Grand Forks talking about like how good that team is and how do you recognize that team for how good they were, because some of their best players are leaving. And I mean, we just saw I believe it was one of them's going to Boston, and the other, Tucker Poolman's brother Colton, is signing with Calgary, I believe. And so that makes it tough.
And lost our home opener to the Leafs. Frank Mahovlich, Big M beats us with a couple of goals. Hopefully that's not a sign of what's going to happen here. You got Philadelphia back-to-back the next night. I'm going to give Wakely a shot as the starter. And we'll just send this one out. And hey, 6-1 win. Wayne Connolly, 5 points.
All right. Jeff, should we do a giveaway?
Go for it.
A giveaway. For this giveaway, okay. I've been trying to think of a question to ask. So first person to give the answer in the chat. This is going to be a fairly easy one, based on, you've probably heard us on our previous streams mention this player. So, okay. What NHL player, or rather, what NHL players have the exact same name in the NHL currently?
Kind of an odd way to put it, but I know you're asking.
Absolutely.
And 4-3 win against LA, so we're 2-1 to start the season.
So we'll see if somebody can come up with an answer there. And if you can, you will get a key for FHM6.
And Esposito against the Blackhawks is a team you would eventually wind up in real life, and we get blown out 7-3, and the Hawks are 5-0 to start the season. In this game they didn't make the Phil Esposito trade with Boston, so they've still got him and Hull and Nikita and all those other guys, so they're arguably the best team in the league right now and are the defending Cup champs. So we won't worry too much about losing to them.
With the answer, finally, we have the answer, and the answer, of course, is Sebastian Aho. There is two Sebastian Aho.
And also Sebastian Aho.
Yes, as we have dubbed them, Sebastian Aho the Lesser, for one who shows up occasionally on the trade blocker. And so, Charles, I will send you a Steam key here shortly.
Bounce back from a short losing streak of a 4-3 win over the Blues. And wow, we're at 500 in the middle of the division for once. I mean, it's sort of cheating a little bit because it's mostly expansion teams in with us. But oh wow, actually, it looks Oakland, who's had a really good season last year, as their first one in the league, has fallen apart now. They're 0-5-1 to start the year.
We'll have another key in a little bit, Earl, so you might have time to get back, depending on how long you go.
And a little inconsistent here. We're winning one, losing one. Although I think our early schedule is a little weighted kind of heavily against the established teams. Though we do manage a 2-2 tie, and Ernie Wakely, the free agent we signed as a backup, 49 saves. Very nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, wow, kind of a big deal between Oakland and the Rangers.
I should say this. If we're doing giveaways, if you are watching us on Steam as well, you can participate.
Surprising Rangers moving the guy who would have been their captain in real life, Vic Hadfield, eventually to Oakland for Al McNeil, who's mostly notable as Montreal's coach, and Gino Biarco is a couple of future coaches who was with the Penguins for a while. And Hatfield, look at that, as soon as he gets a trade, gets a hat trick in his first game in Oakland. Not looking like a great trade for the Rangers, and it's not really good to get him in our division if he's going to be playing like that. And wow, I think this might be our best game yet. 7-1 win. Gila Point, 3 points. And looks like it was a good move to re-sign Eddie Shack. He was the first star in that one, or no, third star in that one. I mean, it is only an expansion team, but looks like we're second behind Chicago in the division, right where we should be. Oh, and then Ubriaco bounces right back from the other side of that and gets as a 4-goal game for the Rangers. It's kind of surprising because I don't think he was that big of a scorer in the minors, where he played pretty much all of his career. I don't think he had more than a handful of games in the NHL. And trying to get Tony Esposito to heat up a little bit. 4-4 tie against Minnesota. That doesn't quite do it. At least they're not cold, but I'd like to see him improving. We'll try giving Wakely an easy game against the Seals and hope we don't blow that. No, 4-2 win. Gump Worsley in goal for the
last
Brooklyn.
year. So
What was that?
I said playing against expansion teams, you blew them all last year pretty near. So
yeah, we
I
have done
see
a little better.
I see you're making sure you can't get fired again.
Nope, that's just in your save. I fixed that before I started this one. Just a little thing where the Canucks don't have an owner seat. Wait, no, I'll prove it. Hang on, look, see this? I just switched to the stat screen, and Stafford Smythe is in fact the owner.
Jeff found a way how to make sure he can't get fired. I like
Yeah,
it.
no, just a thing where the owners reset in historical games, and because I had moved Smythe over to the Canucks from the Leafs, because this was kind of his project to get the early Canucks started up. And lose 5-4 to the Kings. I shouldn't have started Wakely in that one. But, and then said Harold Ballard is the owner in Toronto, but it keeps resetting at the start of every new season, so I have to remember to fix that. And 3-1 win over Minnesota, so still not too bad. Oh, good. Dick Duff is maybe a little ahead of schedule. 1 or 2 weeks only. Okay, that's good. Although Gary Berkman is... How many are we short defensemen on the... Oh, wow, we've only got 7 defensemen in the whole organization. I didn't realize that.
Solid planning there, Jeff.
That's not good. Okay. Any competent free agent defenseman left? Rick Pagnuti, who I think
Great
played
name.
a bit for Cleveland and WHA, if I'm remembering right. I don't think he did much in the NHL, if anything. And not seeing anybody else, so I think we're going to have to give him a... Exactly what, yeah, it's just only $7,000 a year, so not too much. And he signs right away. And he can go down to Victoria, our farm team in the Western Hockey League.
See if Jeff is correct.
What was that?
I said checking to see if you're correct. He played with Rochester Americans,
In the
Salt Lake
AHL?
Golden Eagles, Fort Wayne Comets, Oklahoma City Blazers. Never really got to the dance by his numbers.
And got a couple of wounded defensemen, but pick up a 3-2 win, although Esposito is still not heating up for some reason.
Yeah, never played in the NHL.
He did play in the WHA, though, at some point, right?
Nope.
What do I have in the database, then? That's... Oh, he might be one of those draft picks from the late 60s that I put in to bulk things out.
He was a draft pick of the LA Kings.
Yeah, that
He was
might be
a
it.
draft pick of the Kings.
If beat one of the original 6, 4-1 win over the Rangers there.
He was the first overall pick of the 67 entry draft.
Yeah, that's why he's in then. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But he played 10 years in the minors.
And board confidence, and Stafford Smythe thinks the season has proceeded very promisingly so far.
Gamba Magnus asks, having not played Franchise Hockey Manager since the 4 version, are you able to generate fictional players from the free agency pool? It would be a nice thing to populate the league in the early days.
No, you can't. I guess, yeah, you could if you want to. If you go into the league edit screen, if you got commissioner mode on, there's down here create a new player screen. So if you can create a free agent if you want them.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily work that well in historical mode because it's missing some of the data. And the other thing you can do that we added this year was being able to import a historical player. So if, theoretically, if I wanted to bring in Gretzky in his prime into this game, which we won't do because that would be kind of cheating, but we can do that now too. That's a new thing we added this year.
Yeah. The other thing is, and we went over when we added teams in historical, if you add enough teams, it will actually be forced to generate.
Yeah. It's a really
players.
high number, though. You have to get really crazy with the...
because there's just not enough players in the historical database.
Bad loss there to Boston with the backup goalie in, but at least our defensemen are healing. No, it's a good thing we made that signing because Reggie Fleming went and got himself suspended. But we will, instead of Pagnuti, we're going to bring up Dennis Kearns.
Kearns!
Future Canuck in real life, too.
Jeff always signing the Canucks.
Yeah, we got Orland Kurtenbach. Any other actual Canucks? Tony Esposito played for the Canucks in the Western League. I think that's all of them, though. I didn't go too overboard. Not like somebody who's always going to sign Connor Hellebuck no matter what game we're in. Or trade for him.
I have not done that in quite some time.
Okay. And there we go. Esposito finally warmed up a little bit more. 4-2 win over LA. And Fleming's suspension was only 1 game, so... Kearns, I think, can stay up, though. We're going to put Fleming back into the lineup. Going to try swapping out Lacroix with Hextall for a little while to get him a little game time. Players will get a little rusty if you sit them out for extended amounts of time, so it's not a bad idea to swap guys in occasionally. Oh, actually, I didn't realize we were playing Jerry Korab regularly. That's a little much on the rookie, so I will put Kearns back in for him for a while. And Kings again. Can we make it 2 in a row against them? Almost. 1-1 tie. Although we put up 50 shots on Don Simmons, and we probably should have had the win there.
Trying to think of another good
Trivia question for the...
yes. So my brain's working on it.
So solidly in second place in the division, so best season we've had so far. We have 3 in a row against the Kings. Okay, let's see if we can win this one too. Yep, 5-3 win. Ted Hampson with a couple of points, and Reggie Fleming returning from injury with a goal from the point. And Dick Duff is almost back, so we've been doing all this without one of our better wingers. Don't really want to make too many changes here because things are going really well. Going to put Wakely in against Montreal because I think we're going to have trouble here, and I don't want to mess up Esposito. And it's a 4-2 loss, so we at least played it reasonably close. You got a question?
I think so. I think I figured out our next trivia question, and it's fairly relevant.
Okay, well, go for it.
I'm going to give 1 minute in case somebody's a little bit behind in times, just so so they can get caught up.
And Duff is almost back, but now Johnny McKenzie gets hurt, but it looks like it's only a minor thing. Oh, dislocated the jaw. So we will bring our first overall pick, Rene Robert, up.
Rene Robert.
Give him a few games while McKenzie's healing.
Okay, here's the next trivia question.
Okay.
This is the only fictional player in the historical database of the game.
Well, I put him there, so I know the answer to that one. And disappointing 4-2 loss to Oakland.
And I will be going for spelling on this.
I can't make him do that. Waivers. Carl Wetzel on waivers, but no, we're not going to bother. That's no better than what we've got already. And there we go. Dick Duff finally back from the injured list. So that will probably shuffle our lines around a little bit. Does Sather get benched? I think so.
Philly fan comes in flying with the correct answer.
Taro Tsujimoto, Buffalo Sabres legend.
Yes. Which he was drafted in what year, Jeff? Can you tell me?
I think that was 71.
Yeah, it's later than that.
72.
Nope, later.
Even later? 73 then. I'm just going to keep going up.
Still not enough.
74? Doesn't seem that... You sure about that?
74. Yes, I am sure. I'm staring at a stats page.
Okay, I believe you.
$1974, round 11.
So we're gonna do that loss
number
against
underneath.
Oakland, but it looks like Oakland's got our number again. 4-2 loss.
Philly fan, congratulations on the win. Well done.
And we are back to 500 and stuck playing Chicago, best team in the division. Going to have to stay with Esposito in net, even though I think he may be a little tired. And another 4-2 loss. Sliding below 500.
All right, we'll probably have one more. We'll give. I forget. I forget the team that Taro played for in Japan.
Oh, the name of the team? Yeah, I know that one.
Yes.
Well, I'll let you. It
You don't know
wasn't
that
actually a team. It was just something they made up on the
one. I
spot. And
know,
there
but
we go.
that's why
6-1
what
win.
makes it better. It is the Tokyo Katanas.
And now Claude LaRose is hurt, and it's bad. Well, 2 to 3 with biceps tendonitis. So he's going to have to go on the injury list.
CSI 312. Thanks for coming.
Mackenzie isn't quite ready yet. Good.
I was just saying hi to CSI.
All right.
He's in the chat now, joining us. All right, I got to think of one more trivia question. I'm surprised somebody pulled out Taro so fast.
He's pretty well known.
He is, but at the same time, maybe people don't know.
And in against the expansion Flyers, and we managed to lose 2 to 1. So I think we're back to struggling against the other expansion teams again. Oh, is Mackenzie back already? Yeah, he's healthy now. That was fast. And Robert staying up a little while longer because of the injury to Claude LaRose. We should probably take a look at our stats and see how we're doing points-wise this season. Red Berenson and Wayne Connolly having another good year, and Eddie Shack, again, surprisingly, putting the points up for us. John Ferguson, pretty solid as well. Guy Lapointe in his first NHL season after spending last year in the minors, on track for about 40 points. Not too bad.
Okay, I got another one.
Good.
I forgot. I had to go check to make sure this player was still in the database. Jeff added this celebrity to the game a couple of years ago.
Celebrity in quotation marks. I'm not sure if anybody remembers him. This was your idea, wasn't it?
It was, yes. You can still sign him in your game.
I don't even remember what it's not the name he's known by. In fact, I think he might actually be active at the moment in this one. Or he may be too old in this. I'll look after you if anybody figures it out.
No, I don't think he's in the historical game unless we're thinking of somebody else. Oh, Philly fan ruins it. He already wins and he somehow guesses. Yes.
Oh, see, I wasn't even thinking that one. I thought you were. I was thinking of the other guy, the guy you had me at. That was probably last year.
Who's that?
Evel Knievel, who was actually a minor league.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, I forgot about that one.
Yep, there we go. He is active in the game right now. Half a star. Oh no, he's retired.
Yeah, Philly fan got it right. Justin Bieber is still in the game. Yes, he's a half-star player, and he gets incredibly hurt. But yeah, we put him in the game because so he could still show up. So all right, I guess I have to come up with another one.
I mean, I've seen I've seen video of him on the ice. He's actually a reasonably competent
Canadian.
player. Yeah, I mean, he grew up playing hockey, so he knows what he's doing. He's not that bad.
No, it's.
But he's kind of towards the absolute bottom of what the game can simulate.
Yeah, well, did we put him on with like we did a blog way back about it with him in it, I believe.
Yeah, I played him as a full season on the Leafs, and I think he managed 1 assist in 80. I don't think he was able to play all the games because he kept running on. He was exhausted and would have to miss every few games. But I think at one point, 80 something games.
Yeah. Well, he's still got a rivalry with Binnington, right? It was Binnington.
Kind of a one-way rivalry.
Yep. Okay, now I got to think of another question.
Okay, we got to get back on track here. We're starting to struggle a little bit. And we do. 5-0 shutout. First shutout of the season, I think. And Orland Kurtenbach with 3 points. And apparently Reggie Fleming was in a little bit of trouble, but he's not going to get suspended for it. And let's make it 2 in a row now against the Blues. And we do, 4-1 win. Nothing like playing a bunch of expansion teams to turn a losing streak around. Tim Horton hitting 1,000 games in the NHL. Ron Stewart, too. I'll check the standings in a couple of... Oh, we got a back-to-back here. We'll play that first. See if we can keep winning against Minnesota. Going to keep Esposito in. And, well, it's a tie at least. 3-3 tie. No overtime or shootouts at this point. And very minor trade. I don't know, Wayne Rivers might do something for Oakland, was a big scorer in the WHA.
Good.
And Vancouver, Philly. And yet another win, 3-1. So we are currently second in the West Division. Pretty good spacing between us and number 3, Oakland. Have, I guess, turned their season around a little bit. They're still well back us, but we're not even remotely close to Chicago. 19 points back. They're running away with it because they get to play in a division with 5 either teams that have just expanded or have expanded within the last 2 or 3 years. And Philadelphia actually doing reasonably well for an expansion team, first-year expansion team, in with 5 of the original 6. They've got 24 points in 30 games.
Not bad at all.
And we're heading up on, no, still not close to the trading deadline. Early December here. Can the winning streak continue, or undefeated streak at least? And it does not. 3-2 loss to Oakland. Relatively close game. I mean, Connolly with a couple of points for us, but not enough. And looks like Claude LaRose is almost back for us, so I think that'll... And Rene Robert's stay out of the minors. Going to give Wakely a game he hasn't played in a little while against the Hawks. And we don't give him any help at all. 3-0 loss. Only put 13 shots on Glenn Hall.
All right. Okay. I got one another question here. We'll see how this goes. To win another copy of Franchise Hockey 6.
Ouch, loss against Oakland. Not good.
It's not predicting whether you're going to win or lose, Jeff. That would be pretty tough. Okay, this is going to be based on another hockey video game. What hockey video game, and I need the title of the game, featured characters such as Happy Golecki, Dickie Fontaine, Bo Cleveland, and Ivan Yakichev?
I have no idea. And Esposito's cooling off, but he still comes out with a win against Minnesota. Glenn Sather went and got himself suspended.
Yeah. There are some other names there, but the other names. Canva Magnus nails it. I remember that one. Hit the ice.
Hit the ice.
Yes.
What was that for?
I played it on Super Nintendo. It was also on Genesis, TurboGrafx, and I believe there was an arcade version of it too. 2-on-2 hockey game where you control the goalies by moving up and down on the D-pad and left and right move the players naturally. Silly and crazy and fun. So yeah, it was it's a pretty fun game still to this
3-0 shutout over St. Louis, and we only give up 12 shots. Don't know how deep we're going to go in the playoffs, but I think we're going to make them this year. And Claude LaRose finally appears to be back. But Rene Ribera in that time up has managed to get an extra half star, so
Excellent.
I'm actually going to send Hextall down to Victoria and leave Robert up. Well, I don't think I'm going to dress him. Swap Kearns back for Cora. Let's see what the AI does with the lines. Keep Shaq on the first line. Other than that, looks good.
Yeah, the team looks overall. We're not terrible. Be nice to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not at least. I should take a look at the job security, and ouch. Should have looked before. I lost 7-1 against the Leafs, but I think we're still doing reasonably well. Yeah, still into the green, although the fans are getting very unhappy again. We kind of need a... Yeah, I think we're going to need the playoffs to be really sure that we're not going to lose a job, but I still think we're reasonably safe. Try Esposito against the Hawks. 4-1 loss, and we're back under 500. And here's St. Louis to hopefully fix that for us. And just barely 3-2 win, although that's mainly as we put up 49 shots on them. And now Reggie Fleming gets hurt. Hopefully not too bad. Nope. Herniated disc in his back, and he's gone for 2 months. So
That's a long time.
Call Pagnuti up to the NHL, and we have one more defenseman injury. I'm going to have to sign somebody else in addition to him. Oh, the annual player poll. Again, none of our guys getting mentioned.
Of course. Why would they mention us?
Sooner or later, we got to get a decent player.
Maybe one day.
Board confident update, still relatively happy with us. Try Wakely against Oakland, see if that does any better, because Esposito's had trouble. No. Oh, geez, 5-1 win. And looks like Wakely, yeah, blowing out 4-0 in the first period. So I probably should have started Esposito there. Speaking of which, I didn't look at the goalie stats. Oh yeah, Esposito way out in front. I should probably be starting him a little more often. Oh great, we got another. Now Ted Hampson's hurt. Day to day with a tight groin only, at least.
Tight groin.
And bouncing back against St. Louis, 3-1, brings us right back to 500. And can the Kings help us get over it? Nope, 2-1 loss. Ted Hampson is almost back.
Have you considered signing another or trading for a defenseman?
What do we got to trade for one though?
We got some forwards.
And we do have Bill Sutherland sitting around 1.5 stars. We just shop him and see if we get any offers. Nope, nothing.
Ouch.
Tough game against the Bruins and Bobby Orr, and we come out of it with a 3-2 win. Red Berenson points on all 3 goals. And Bernie Perrott in goal for the Bruins.
Nice.
Hampson's still not quite ready, but we've got Minnesota, so let's see if we can keep it going. No, inconsistent. 3-2 loss. We beat the Bruins, and then we lose to an expansion team. Oh, shoot, I should have put Hampson in. I'll try Wakely, who's gone cold against Minnesota, although... Oh, no, turned out okay. 6-2 win. Orland Kurtenbach with a 4-point night. Okay, LaRose. Looks like he almost got suspended there, but didn't. And now Bob Wojtowicz is hurt. Pulled abdominal muscle 1 to 2 weeks, so we are down to putting Pagnuti in, which means I really need to sign another defenseman if we can't get one in a trade.
In my game, there's nobody worthwhile in the trade, but maybe there's somebody in yours.
Yeah, Jim Mayer, 1.5 stars. It's not too promising free agent-wise. Randy Murray, Gordy Nelson. I'm going to go with Bob Paradis, who played on the U.S. national team in the Olympics a couple of times. And was with Washington and Pittsburgh in the mid-70s. So... he's with us. How long is Wojtowicz out? A couple of weeks, so put him on the injured list. And Robert sits for a while again. Hampson goes in. Going to send Robert down so he keeps playing and doesn't mess up his development. And no, wants to put Hampson in the first line. I don't want that. Oh, it really juggled us around there. Okay.
Time to go trade for Bobby Orr.
You think we have people we can trade for Bobby Orr?
I don't know, Jeff. You seem to be able to make things happen.
And 2-0 shutout over Oakland. So we finally get a win out of them. And I think we're running a little bit low on time because gonna need to clear the way for the OOTP guys soon. I think they're coming on at in half an hour, is it? How long can we go, Adam? Any idea?
We got, probably half an hour is probably good. That was our usual time. We said we wouldn't be on it at our usual time, so.
Look, well, we'll go a few more minutes. I don't want to put it too close to them.
I haven't received a message telling us to get off, so we're fine.
Oh, okay. Go until we get kicked off, is that it?
Exactly. People are here, people are enjoying it, why worry?
Yeah. So we've slipped back behind Oakland into 3rd place in the West. And when is the trading deadline? Oh, March 1st. We still got a month and a half to that, so no big rush. I'm going to throw Ernie Wakely in because I don't think we're going to be beating Gordie Howe. Oh, he managed a 5-5 tie. And looks like we got it with the goalie out. Or did they get it? Yeah, they got it with the goalie out. Mike McMahon with 50 seconds left, set up by Gordie Howe.
Oh, no. This is old man Gordie Howe, but we should probably still be going to get him.
And 2-1 win over the Blues. Did that get us into... yeah, that gets us back into 2nd. Going back and forth. But Orland Kurtenbach suspended for a game. And Jerry Korab apparently got hurt too. So defenseman going down left and right. Oh, one
Have
hip
you
strain.
tried
He's out for
not
2
getting
weeks.
some
Tried what?
somebody not getting hurt?
And as soon as you say that, I noticed that Johnny McKenzie's out for a couple of weeks with a sprained wrist too.
So how long before you import Ray Bork into our game?
That would be cheating.
Oh, because that's never happened on this stream.
Oh, I have no idea what you're
In
talking
your
about.
games. In your games, not in my games.
You're very confused, I think. I don't have any recollection of anything like that.
Where's Gudu? Gudu! I mean, Gamba Magnus says Canucks injury list starting to look like an infirmary. Well, I guess that pretty much kind of echoes their real situation this year.
Okay, why are we putting Andre Lequan first? What the heck is the AI doing here? This isn't good. Okay, that's better. Okay, best team against in the division, Hawks. And we beat them 2-1.
Woo.
Lane Connolly had both the goals, and Tony Esposito stops 32 shots.
Radical choice. Let's just move all the forwards back to defense and start training them.
We may need to do that at some point, although...
Time to move Dennis Hextall to the point.
Curtin back out, so Lacroix can go in for a game. This Korab guy's only day to day. Okay, we're starting to get healthier.
Yeah, there's the idea. Put Dennis Hextall back there. Put Brian Hextall back there.
And the Hawks bounce back by beating us 4-0. And we got Howe in the wings again. They'll try Esposito against them. And we beat him again, 4-3. Or no, we tied him last time.
From the chat economy effort, only 13 shots, but you made them count.
Yep. Okay, there we go. Our injured guys are finally starting to come back. Well, they're not quite ready yet. We're gonna have to play Montreal without them. And we lose 5-2. I think Montreal's leading the East, aren't they? Yep. 7 points up on Bobby Orr and the Bruins.
Oh no.
So, injuries. Do we have guys back yet? Which is still day to day. And the players of the month, not our guys. We got Oakland, should be a win, just barely, 3-2.
Every game should just be a win, but that's not the case.
Board confidence, Stafford Smythe is still pretty happy with us, as he should be. And Wojtowicz is healthy. So we can start moving some of the emergency guys out of the lineup. Another game against Oakland. And a 2-1 loss this time. Does that switch places? Yeah, they... Or at least they're tied with us now for second in the West. I can't remember, did we set the playoffs to top 4 in each division? I think we did.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think we changed it, but...
Yep.
Taking a quick look. Oh, can't see.
Either way, well, yeah, we're gonna make it regardless because we're 20 points up on the fourth place team, even though Oakland is
Well, if you peek at
close with us here.
Peek at the standings, it should give you an idea. I think.
Oh yeah,
right?
Canucks again. This isn't going to help the record. 4-2 win, so at least we were reasonably competitive. And I'll just get I think a couple more games into this before we wrap it up here. Rangers got to end on a win. Ouch, 6-0 shutout against New York. And there we go. There's another injured player back, Jerry Korab. So Paradis can go down. And the last emergency guy on D is back out of the lineup. Shuffle the forwards around slightly. See if that helps.
It cannot hurt.
Is Lacroix moved, improved a bunch? Oh yeah, he's up to 2 stars. Maybe that's why the AI is wanting to use him so much. Still a little early for him. Okay, we got the Blues. This should be a win. Nope, 4-3 loss. Okay, we're getting a win here before we wind up. LA, that'll do it.
Seems dangerous.
And it does, just barely. 4-3 win. Ted Hampson assists on all 4 goals.
Excellent.
Gets the first star, so let's see, with about... I don't remember, how many games did we change the schedule length in this to 76? 3, 6... 3, 6, 9, 10 games left. No, we left at 70 games for this year. Should probably increase it next season. So 10 games left in the season. We are a single point out of second place, which would probably give us give Oakland home ice advantage in the first series against us. I think that's the way it's set up. But we're, I think, 1 point away from mathematically clinching a playoff spot.
Sounds good.
And we're 3 points better than the Leafs.
Which is always the goal.
Oh, wow. Bobby Hull running away with the scoring lead this year. Still 10-ish games to go, and he's got 114 points already.
Excellent.
And 62 goal. Wow, yeah, I think those would have been records at this point, if I'm not mistaken. I'm looking for Canucks in here and not seeing a whole lot. Oh, wow, look at the plus minus. 1 through 10 are all Hawks. Or 1 through 9, rather. Nope, 1 through 11, actually. Yeah, they're having a pretty good season.
Apparently.
Oh, Carl Brewer, there you go. He's got one guy, he's number 2 in shots blocked. And just take a quick look back at our lineup. And okay, you want to wrap it up there, Adam?
Sure. Thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments, although sometimes we do it at other times, just like today. You can also find our streams archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, or on you can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/franchise hockey manager. On Twitter, we're at franchise hockey. We will find a link to our official Discord on our Twitter bio. You can, of course, also come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner. That'll bring you to our official forums, where you can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager Out of the Park Baseball 21, which releases tomorrow, or if you're watching this on YouTube, very soon. Or actually, isn't it the 20th, Jeff, it releases?
Yeah, Friday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yes, getting kind of mixed up on days. So it'll release Friday, and maybe the stream will be up, or if not, it's already out. So buy it. Why not? If you haven't bought it and you're still waiting to buy Franchise Hockey Manager 6, well, I mean, I believe there should be a bundle, Jeff.
Yeah, there will be with the Out of the Park 21 release. You'll be able to buy the 2 games. I think it's an extra 10% off the overall price of the combined price.
Yeah, so you can do that, and come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager 6, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, or anything else you want to talk about. Jeff, with that, I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to be hopefully trying to get that real life NHL 2020 saved to you guys as fairly soon in the next few days, so you can see what would have happened in the game if they had actually played out the remainder of this season, which isn't looking too likely right now. But other than that, we will be back a week from now, I guess, with Adam's game. What happened last week, anyhow? You didn't tell me what happened when you played on Sunday or Saturday, was it?
We didn't get fired, and we continued to win. What else do you need to do?
Okay, good enough. So we'll be continuing that next Wednesday. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and I think the Out of the Park guys will be by shortly in the next 15 minutes or so.